Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is the Land Bank Committee dated September 18th, 2023. Our clerk is not available today, so I will be calling the roll on all of the items. So I'll start with the attendance. Mr. Orzak?
Here.
Mr. Pajali?
Here.
Mr. Oliver?
Here.
Ms. Chapone?
Yes, here.
And Ms. Gilson?
Here.
All right. The first, and it is 2 o'clock, I'm sorry. I usually say that too, I believe. The first thing on the agenda is everybody received a draft of the minutes from the July 17th, 2023 meeting. And hopefully everybody had a chance to scan through those, and if you have any changes or edits or corrections to that, I'd be willing to accept those right now. Otherwise, we can have a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, so motion and a second, and no further discussion. I'll call the roll on that motion. Mr. Orzak?
Yes.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Oliver?
Yes.
Ms. Chapone?
Yes.
Ms. Gilson?
Yes.
All right. Old business, we don't have anything to report at this time on old business. We do have 2 new applications, and they were both in your agenda packet as well as online. And I'm having a little bit of an issue getting to where I need to be. First item, and I can try to make that smaller maybe, but it's a side lot expansion request at 1704 Buchanan Street. This is in the South Side Neighborhood Plan, currently ongoing. So the background information is that Anthony Jones, he resides at 1712 that you can see pictured, has requested ownership of that property, that vacant lot at 1704 Buchanan Street. He claims that when he bought the property, there was an addition to the house that he resides in, which took a lot of the yard space away. So when he submitted this request in July, he just wants a little bit more yard space for his 3 children. He said that this would also increase his property value by increasing his square footage. The city acquired the property through a judgment entry on May 1st, 2013. A single-family structure was ordered demolished in 13, leaving that parcel vacant for a number of years. The vacant parcel sits on a corner of Buchanan and Clay Street, which I mentioned before is within the Southside Acquisition Zone. It is currently zoned as residential multifamily. The lot dimensions are 57 by 98. In the next page or 2, you'll see the photos, the zoning, and the aerial. We did have some staff comments. Our planning staff was asked to comment on the recommended end use of this property. The recommendation was to deny this request and retain this parcel for single, 2-family, or multifamily development. New development will be seen in this area as the Southside Neighborhood Plan calls for new housing redevelopment. If approved, the suggested purchase price of the property would be no less than $200 plus all expenses, not limited to the property transfer and combination and recording, which is not less than the fair market value as determined by the City of Sandusky's Land Bank Committee in accordance with provisions from Chapter 5722 of the Ohio Revised Code. After all is said and done, this usually estimates out to be between $1,200 and $1,500. So it's listed here as, estimated $1,400. Payment in full would be due at the time of the agreement being signed. City Commission would be the final determining factor if it's approved through this committee. The property taxes will be added back to the tax roll, and the land value for the existing property will increase once the properties are combined, the 2 combined. Conditions would be approval from this committee, The city commission would have to approve fully executed purchase and sale agreement with any conditions, and the property would have to be combined. The action requested today is that the Land Bank Committee deny this application for the purchase of 1704 Buchanan Street through the side lot disposition program based on the information provided by staff. If the sale of the property is approved, however, it will go to City Commission for final approval. And I can take any comments, discussion, views on this parcel.
I tend to agree with the staff recommendation only because of where the lot sits, and the south side plan was just completed, and we're ready to start backfill housing, hopefully in the near future. There's a lot of anticipated opportunities in that area, so I would make a motion to deny the request at this time based on that.
Second.
Okay, is there any further discussion from anyone? And I think this is sometimes where the clarification is made that the motion is to deny, so a yes vote would mean to deny the application.
Correct.
A no vote would be to. Okay, I'll take the roll then.
I've got a comment. I'm wondering if, it's been 10 years, right? I'm wondering if, and there is some chatter about maybe some housing money that would go through the land bank, the county land bank, but it would have to be approved by the county commissioners to build houses. I'm wondering if we could say if we haven't done anything in a year with this property, we would revisit it, and if the applicant still wants it, we would be open to allowing them to use it, to have it as a side lot.
I would support a 2-year timeframe on that, just knowing that the state of Ohio has not even issued guidelines yet for those dollars, so it's going to take some time for dollars to become available.
Okay. And I only make the comment because it's been 10 years. I think if something's going to happen, it better happen pretty quick. So.
We're hopeful that new development will start in that area. Now, Habitat for Humanity has started some projects over in that area, so we're seeing some development in that area.
So do we have to make a motion to deny but revisit in 2 years, and if it's still vacant, then we would consider moving the property?
I understand the motion that's on the floor right now is to deny it. If you wanted to amend the motion based on Commissioner Pajali's recommendation.
I would amend my motion, and I was thinking the same thing along Commissioner Pajali's thoughts too for a year, but the 2 years makes more sense based on that. So I would amend my motion to that we deny it at this time, and if we haven't had anything develop in 2 years, that we consider giving the side lot expansion to the Joneses, I believe it was.
I'll second that, the amended motion.
Perfect. All right, I will just call roll on that motion then. Mr. Orzak?
Yes.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Oliver?
Yes.
Ms. Chaponi?
Yes.
Ms. Gilson?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I will deliver that news. And then the next application that we received was also for side lot expansion. And this one is at 1014 Clinton Street. This was Gary Wilson, resides at 1010 Clinton Street, requested ownership of the vacant lot at 1014 Clinton for side yard expansion. There is another adjacent property owner. However, they are not currently eligible to split this parcel with the applicant. So they have not been notified of that. It will just be a whole lot request. Mr. Wilson submitted his application request in July and stated that he would like to add a driveway leading to his garage in the rear of the property. His request states that he has maintained the property for several years when it was needed. This includes picking up debris, mowing, and also shoveling and de-icing the sidewalks in the wintertime. If this request was approved, he would also benefit from the additional square footage, and also the driveway addition would increase his property value as well. The city acquired the property through tax foreclosure on March 19th of 2019. The single-family structure was ordered demolished in 13, leaving the parcel vacant for a number of years until the city could acquire it in the land bank. The vacant parcel sits on Clinton Street between Monroe and Barker, and the current zoning is residential to family. The lot dimensions are 44 by 166. And then we also have some staff comments. The recommendation would be to retain this parcel for single or two-family development. However, this property has not had a request for development, and this is the first application on file. The suggested purchase price is the same as the last. It will be no less than $200, plus expenses not limited to the transfer, combination, and recording, which is not less than the fair market value determined by the City of Sandusky Land Bank Committee. It's estimated, again, at $1,400-ish. Payment in full would be due when the purchase and sale agreement is signed. Once the purchase and sale agreement is executed, deeds will be requested to transfer the parcel and then combine the two properties. The city would be relieved of maintaining this parcel, which is approximately $250 each time the parcel is mowed. The taxes will be added back to the tax roll with the land value of the existing property, so that will increase. Conditions are the same as the last one: approval from the Land Bank Committee, final approval from City Commission, a fully executed purchase and sale agreement with any conditions, and the property would need to be combined with his existing property. It's requested that the Land Bank Committee either approve or deny this application for the purchase of 1014 Clinton Street through the side lot disposition program based on the information provided. If the sale of the property is approved, the request will go before City Commission for final approval. And this one, the gentleman with his request did add a couple of pictures of, that's a junk vehicle that's stored on the property. And we don't know where those come from, I don't know. And then this is a picture of when it got really high and he mowed it, apparently. So that's all I have on that report.
I have a couple questions, if you don't mind. Just want to note that these photos are from May of 2020, so they are quite old. I don't believe that's the case with the condition of the property today. Had a chance to go through and visit these properties. His garage, Debbie, is behind his home, so he would have to build a driveway that would come in off the street and then angle and turn into his garage. Is that what his plans are?
Yes.
Has he submitted any sort of schematic to that effect?
No
Okay.
building plans or anything like that.
Okay.
But I did see that he does have like a yard space on the other side of the property that allows him to get back to his property.
So he does have access to his garage as it stands today?
Yes.
Okay.
No paved driveway, but it's access for sure.
So I guess from my perspective, if we want to stay consistent, I would make a motion that we deny this and revisit it in 2 years. In the meantime, maybe the applicant can talk to engineering or whoever he has to talk to try to figure out how that drive's going to work or whether it'll even work or not. So that would be my motion, to deny it and revisit it in 2 years.
I would second that.
Does anyone have any further discussion on this property? Okay, I'll call the roll then on the motion to deny. Mr. Orzak?
Yes.
Mr. Bajali?
Yes.
Mr. Oliver?
Yes.
Ms. Chaponi?
Yes.
And Ms. Gilson?
Yes.
All right. I'll deliver that news as well. All right, and the last thing on our agenda, as you know, we get notification of current foreclosures, and those are available to Land Bank should there not be any bids during the sheriff's sale. So between current foreclosures and our current condemned list, I have identified 7 parcels that we might be willing to acquire. Any structures, we definitely would need to verify that there are no liens against the property. So, you know, this doesn't mean that we're going to acquire. This is just the permission to acquire if it should come up. So I will go through the first, is 718 Fox Street. And I believe I'll get to a picture here in just 1 second. 718 Fox, so the aerial is here, off of Fulton. It's kind of behind the hospital in a way, in the hospital area. And then this is, oof, it's kind of big, the condemned photo. Let me try to make that a little smaller for you so you can see. That might be a little more appropriate there. This vacant structure is 1 story. It was confirmed vacant. It's a single-family residential structure with a lot size of 33 by 100. Property is zoned R2F, and it has approximately 1,155 square foot of living space between, with 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. This is currently delinquent on property taxes and an active foreclosure case. So should the city acquire this property through sheriff's sale or gift of deed in lieu of foreclosure, it will be evaluated for rehabilitation or demolition. And I apologize, I thought this was a condemned property, and I don't believe it is. I misspoke. The next parcel is 2 parcels, 1807 and 1809 Harrison Street. You can see that there is a structure in front and a structure in back. These are 2 vacant 1-story structures zoned as single-family residential. Each lot size is 33 by 128. I'm sorry, this says zoned single-family. I'm sorry, that houses a single-family residential structure. That was also mistyped. It is zoned R2F, both of the parcels. Each property has multiple housing code violations that need to be addressed. The property is currently delinquent in property taxes with an active foreclosure case. And should the city acquire this property via sheriff's sale or gift of deed in lieu of foreclosure, it will be evaluated for either rehabilitation or demolition. The next parcel is at 809 Hancock. So this is on one of our main thoroughfares into the city. Okay. And this is a vacant 2-story, 3-family residential structure with a lot size of 33 by 132. The property is zoned local business and currently condemned and ordered demolished. While the property is not currently in foreclosure status, the demolition costs will be assessed to the property after demolition happens, likely resulting in a foreclosure. Should the city acquire this property via sheriff's sale or gift of deed in lieu of foreclosure, the demolition process will continue. 1329 Huntington, kind of over in the Cedar Point Way, off of Butler, East Parish. This one, it's a vacant 2-story single-family residential structure with a lot size of 40 by 120. The property is zoned R140. It's condemned and ordered demolished. While the property is not currently in foreclosure status, the demolition costs will be assessed to the property taxes, again likely resulting in foreclosure. Should the city acquire the property via sheriff's sale or gift of deed in lieu of foreclosure, the demolition process will continue. 1232 West Monroe Street. It's right off of West Monroe. This one is a fire-damaged property, and I received a call from the owner I have not checked any liens on this property. I just threw it on here in case, because our meetings are 2 months away. So it's a vacant, one-story, single-family residential structure with a lot size of 33 by 81. It is zoned R2F and condemned due to fire damage. The property owner is asked if he could gift the property to the city, as he has no desire to remediate the property or redevelop the vacant lot if demolished. And then should the city acquire the property, it will be evaluated for either rehabilitation or demolition. And the last one is on Jackson Extension 917. This is a vacant, single-story, single-family residential structure with a lot size of 31 by 89. And the property is zoned R2F and is condemned and ordered demolished. While the property is not currently in foreclosure status, the demolition costs will be assessed to the property, possibly resulting in foreclosure. And then should the city acquire this property, the demolition process will continue. And that's all I have for acquisitions at this time. If this is voted on, we will go to City Commission for final approval. But like I said, it's only if the property owners want to gift the property or if they come to foreclosure through a sheriff's sale with no minimum bid or with no bid.
So the motion from us would be just to make a motion to acquire the property should those stipulations be met?
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any other comments or anything on the properties? I'll take the roll on that motion. Mr. Orzak?
Yes.
Mr. Pajali?
Yes.
Mr. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Pony?
Yes.
And Ms. Gilson?
Yes.
All right. That is all that I had to present today. Is there anything else that the committee wishes to discuss? If not, we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.